Goodness me, that's dark. We'll try to move over here into the light, into the living room. Hello, everybody. I have just been to a meeting at 6 o'clock, the meeting that is described in this invitation I just sent into the thread. Yeah. And it was Black Lives Matter and all the people, you can see on that thread who is invited to that meeting. There are many people, many different organizations. They were all white at the meeting. I was there, I was black, and there was a brown person there. They responded to this, let's do something. A little, maybe we can put some action where you just, you gather a small group of people, because we've got a lot of things going on right now. We just had a demonstration. There's another one with a Sulban Rat. So it would be with the children, asylum children, on the Sunday. So where everybody's is too busy, it's beginning to get overload. So just to keep it minimal. And this was we had a round I started, and I said, well, my group, I have to balance how much I ask for them a week before Christmas. And we have a lot going on. We've just done a lot, and we're about to do a march and so on. They involve ourselves in and follow along in a march. That was the one thing. And then the other thing I said is that there is a group called Improve Sierra Leone who have already a demonstration on the Friday. Now, if Black Lives Matter cannot go along with that, you sort of like undermine this, and you make a whole group of white anti-racist organizations make something 2 days after, and it gets big, while there's actually a group of black people who are trying to do something. And we try to build bridges. If there's somebody out there who takes an initiative, we meet them where they are, like we've done with the Somalis, the Congolese, the Kenyans, and we try to build and to help and support what they already have, instead of some tromler, or what do you call it, roll them over with our own big muscle thing. Also, no matter what black people do, there's already been something on slavery. Unless we talk about the N-word, unless we talk about blackface, the media pays absolutely no attention to us. And they know that this whole blackface thing, we know where the whole conversation will go. I'll let that go. I won't, let's let that go for now. We could have that discussion on another day. But I know for sure that this thing on Friday, they will ignore it. But if these Welcome to Denmark and so on contact the press, that 10 of them will be outside the EU and do a little something, then the press will probably come there. Maybe not. And maybe we'll get a little radio time on P1 the next day. Like, this is what happened when we protested about the Algerian, and Welcome to Denmark was invited without me or without anybody else from Black Lives Matter. So we talked about maybe this whole demonstration thing is just something they generally ignore nowadays. So we need to do something that really, really, firstly, makes a statement and something worth talking about. So I suggested, so that we had tried this before with the drownings, I think, in the Mediterranean, that we stopped by the EU. We did a demonstration, walked past the EU, and we stopped there, and we threw a big banner so it covered the building. And we're using water, plastic bottles, and so on. There's a small group of our activists who do that kind of thing, and they will carry it out. And they'll just do the same thing again. We just have to sort of like walk along. So we'll try to see how that combines. And there's a lot of open questions about the person. This Improve Sierra Leone that has something on Friday is actually a business. They're the kind of people who send volunteers, white volunteers, to Sierra Leone and make a profit on it. And then she's made this, it's that group that have made it. So this is also, I had seen that, I had shared it on our page, and we're going to show up, but hadn't involved myself before. We have the Children's Asylum March on the Sunday. I did not involve myself or contact them. Just I wrote to them and said, we've shared your thing and good work. But otherwise, I have not contacted them to like join, collaborate, or can we help or anything, because it looks to it's I don't know if it's in the lines of the ideology of Black Lives Matter, or if it's just, is it a business just trying to, we don't know where they are, and rather than go there and be completely on two different pages and start to have a clash, we'll just go there and stand in the audience and say hello and leave again. That was my plan. But if the group and the rest of Europe is asking us to do something the same a couple of days later, that will be undermining another Black group's activity, and I will not support that either. From Black Lives Matter's point of view, I believe, and we were two of us there, and we both agreed. And from Black Lives Matter, and so I'm waiting. I sent her messages everywhere I can, privately and so on. And she's asked me to send me her number. I forgot to leave my number. I said, call me without giving me. I thought she'd call me on Messenger anyway. As soon as possible, I'll talk to her and hear if she wants us to do us to do a flash mob with her. If she says no, then we will. And she has, and they all have a whole thing, a completely different day. If she says no, then we'll do it 2 days later. But hopefully, if she says yes, then we'll do it during her event with Incorporated, or do it just before if she agrees. And that was the one thing. And then what to do? Apart from throwing this big banner, which I don't know how much attention we'll get for that, but I thought, how about to reenact the slavery? And also, when we are advertising now for this event, we send out invitations for slavery auctions. So we say, please come and put on the event who will be for sale. Like, there'll be woman prostitute for $100, Nigerian migrant, Nigerian laborer for so-and-so, just things like that to bring the reality of Libya onto Rådhuspladsen. And this invitation for slavery auction is what we'll send to the press, is what we'll add to an event. Now, this business who attracts white people to bring them to Sierra Leone and hold a baby and take a picture and do a selfie, it might be too extreme for her. I haven't spoken to her. I don't know, but we want to do the event. If she agrees, it will be Friday. If she doesn't agree, it will be on the 18th, which is a Monday or Tuesday. Then the thing is, everybody just felt like, oh, that is an auction. Oh my God, can you imagine selling people on Rådhuspladsen? That's shocking. I said, well, that is what is happening in Libya. So it's up to the Black people, the Black activists, the Black community. How do you feel about such an auction? And I'd like to hear from you. Not just Herman, my partner, who thinks very similar to me, but everybody else. Because if they're like half of you who feel that is so horrible and offensive, then we won't do it. But if you say yes, please come and join us. We will need Black bodies. We'll need brown people to do the dealing and the slavery selling and asking for the price. And we'll need I will be in chains. Will be some of us to act the migrants. And to maybe, if it's up to me, I would like to do it in Hovedbanegården, move on to Rådhuspladsen, move on to Nytorv, move on to Springvann, and do it at Nørreport. So like do it a few places, but it depends on if it's the same day as a demonstration, then we'll have to. But there are lots of open questions, I know. But what I really need from you, whether you can be there or not, I need to hear from you if you think, no, you can't do that. That is so disgusting. And how dare you want to put Black people in chains, even if it's just a play that's offensive. Or if you try, or if it's okay, or you think, yes, that needs to be done. And I also want to hear from you, yes, that needs to be done, and I want to be a part of it, thank you. I want to help with it and direct and how it's going to be, thank you. As far as props, I think we just need chains. And I already have some, and we can buy some from Bauhaus for 100 kroner per meter or 2 meters or something like that. So that's not a problem. So it's just, will you be part of it? Can you Friday? Can you on the 18th, which I think is a Monday? And what do you think about the whole concept of chaining Black people up to make a point as a flash mob event? What do you think about that? And we compared to last year, there were black bodies, not black bodies, sorry, but just body bags left around Copenhagen, and that made a lot of press. And we want attention, we want press, we want the slavery to be brought forward and spoken about. Thank you.